What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Too Much Test Podcast, episode 46. What if I told you that you could extend your life, you could burn calories, you could get your heart rate up, and all you had to do was sit there? Would you be interested in that? I don't know. What about Sam? Would you like that?
That sounds like the ideal situation for most of America.
You could sit there on your phone and literally burn calories and live longer. And we're going to get into that. I was just telling Sam a random story. I just got a new car. I got a Mustang GT 6-speed, and I bought new taillights for it that are like clear Euro taillights that I think look really good with the blue. I bought them on Amazon for $3.99. I took the OEM ones off, put them on eBay, and sold them for $3.99 within 24 hours. So with eBay fees, I paid like $40 for brand new taillights. Thought you guys would find that interesting.
Wow, that is it. That is interesting. Did you say what episode this is?
46.
46. Okay, cool. We've been doing this for a while. That's dope about your headlights. I saw your Instagram on your you posted on Instagram. If you guys want to check out our Instagram, and mine is sam.stolt, S-T-O-L-T, or if you want to check out TYL is Test Your Levels on Instagram. You can check that out, or in the show notes. We also have a couple of sponsors, hcgains.com or thetriggeredbrand.com. You guys can check out either of those companies. So we appreciate their sponsorship. So if you like what you're seeing on the show or hearing on the podcast, check them out and see if you find something valuable in what they do.
I think we also both have a lot of links in like the description of this podcast for a lot of different stuff. So check it out. If anything tickles your fancy, then click on it and you're good to go.
I always go completely off topic, but my girlfriend and I'll just like rub my two fingers underneath her chin. And when you say tickle me fancy, that's always what I think of. I just underneath her chin while she's just there. I'll just be like,
coochie coo.
You have that good story around your car where you get new tail lights for $40 or $46,
yeah.
Right? I have the Tesla and the like fake leather in the steering wheel. I would like rub my finger on it. So sometimes if my ring is sliding down, I'll rub my finger into the steering wheel to like push the ring back. And I ripped the steering wheel, and that was a while ago. And it just kept getting bigger, right? Because if you don't take care of it, it's going to get bigger. And it still works. It still functions. So I'm not going to spend the money to replace it because like I would rather like invest that money or something like that. So I was like, okay, cool. I made my entire list on a Sunday, and I was like, if I finish everything on my list as a reward for finishing this, I'm going to reward myself, and I'm going to buy this $150 replacement steering wheel for Tesla. I'll just put it in because it's super easy to do, it looked like. And so I get throughout the week, and then on Friday, I'm like, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I finish everything on Friday. I was like, oh, this is nice. It's a good feeling. And now I'm going to go reward myself. So I buy the steering wheel. And then like, I keep doing it. A week later, it comes in the mail. And I watched a YouTube video how to like do it. So like I have that, I have the box with the new steering wheel. I have the YouTube video playing, and I'm sitting in the front seat of the Tesla. And it's like, okay, you do this thing and you punch something into the back of the steering wheel and you take the airbag out, right? And it's got these two cords in the back of it. One is for the airbag and the other is for like the electronics of the system. And so I took it out, and then you need a like a 10 millimeter Allen head thing that you put on a wrench to crank it, right? Because that's what's holding the steering wheel on. And I thought just a regular Allen wrench would work, but you can't get enough leverage even slightly because that's like torqued on.
Yeah.
So I kept trying. I tried. I couldn't get it. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to just run to Advanced Auto. It's 2 minutes away. I'll get the part I need, come back and get this done. So I put I didn't put the airbag back in or anything, but I reconnected the the steering stuff so I could drive even though the airbag piece wasn't connected. Then I come back and I got the part. I take the wrench and I put that in there and I'm cranking and then I put like a pipe on the end of it so I could finally get it. So I get that off, right? I take the thing off. And then if you've never done this before, I'd never done this before, the bolt coming out, I don't know if it's called a drive shaft or what it's called. Somebody's probably going to, give me a hard time about not knowing what this is. But the drive shaft comes out and it's got these little rivet things on the side of it all the way around.
Spline.
What is it called?
Spline.
So it's got the spline all the way around it, and then the steering wheel like goes on and slides between that, right? So it's has like some type of Loctite or something, so it's like hard to get off. And so I'm like trying to rock it back and forth. They're like, yeah, if you can't get it off, try to like rock it back and forth. I'm online, I'm reading. And so I'm rocking it back and forth, yanking on it really hard, and then finally yank it out. But when I went to Advanced Auto and I plugged the steering back in, I did not unplug it when I got home, and I ripped out everything.
Oh shit!
So this tiny, and then I could get the car to start. After that, they've got this electronic, what's this thing that sits right behind the steering wheel? It's
like a gyro or something.
Spring. I think it's called a clock spring.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's coiled around something.
Yes. And I ripped that all open. So I had to manually get this fucking clock spring to put it all back together just so that I could drive the car for the next week while I waited for the part to come in. Right. So this $150 repair now makes it so the car doesn't have any safety features. It cannot use autopilot. And randomly, when you're driving, it just automatically has this giant amount of torque to the left.
Oh shit.
Like, hey, babe, I'm okay with that, right? Like, you just have to make sure you're paying attention. Right? Enough torque to like turn you at a 90-degree angle, right?
Sounds safe.
And the faster you're going, the more of like pressure. So I tell her about that, and she's like, calls me. She's like, I'm on the side of the road. The car did that.
Oh shit.
So anyways, I buy the new clock spring, right? And I get overcharged for it. It's like another $150 because they're not just selling the clock spring; they buy the whole like assembly piece that has, of course, and the steering shaft or to put it into gear as well as like the windshield wiper thing on it, right? That whole thing is a set that you buy together, right? So now we're at $300 just to do the one thing. I just wanted my fucking steering wheel fixed as a reward. Reward.
That sucks.
Now it's been like 2.5 weeks later, right? So then I get that thing in, and I'm like, oh, good, finally, this is here. I wait till the weekend because that's a lot of times when I'll do that kind of stuff. Get the car out there, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to do this at 8 p.m. because I can't see dick like I did last time. I do it when it's sunny out. Get the thing out. I was like, that's pretty easy. Got it cranked out. Take the steering wheel off, and then you have to take off the parts behind that so I could put the drive shaft thing in there and the blinker. Put that all back on, and then put all the the attachment plastic pieces to make it look pretty. I clip all those things on, put on the little screws, put the steering wheel back on, put the airbag back on, and plug in the drive piece of it for the electronics and the airbag. The horn works. I was like, oh great, car doesn't turn on.
Oh shit.
Damn. So I had to take the whole thing back apart, put the old one back on, make an appointment at Tesla. Ended up being $500 to get that shit done. So the $150 that I was trying to reward myself with ended up being over $800 to do. And it took me about a month and a half.
God damn. That's crazy, bro. I don't like fucking with airbags. Have you ever seen an airbag go off? Bro, I was in a car when they went off, not in an accident. So an ex-girlfriend of mine had a Honda Prelude, and she had 17s. It was slammed. Well, the 17s needed new tires, so she threw a set of 16s. So the car's kind of staggered forward, and it's low. And they were repaving a road. And have you ever seen sometimes when they repave roads, the sewer cap is up above like 2 inches before they pave it? So, dude, we're driving down the road, just normal. Boom! Fucking airbags out, both of them. It's instantaneous, dude. You don't even see it. It's like a bullet. And so we're sitting there. There's fucking powder floating through there. Our ears are ringing. It smells like burnt something. My ex-girlfriend's cheek was cut because the bag came out and cut her cheek. My neck was burned. Dude, don't fuck around with airbags, bro. They do not play. It is a violent chemical reaction. They work.
So she hit the manhole cover thing.
Yeah, the whole sewer thing hit the bottom part of the frame, and there's sensors in there. So the car thought that it was in an impact, and so it just let out the airbags. And so we were just sitting there bullshitting, and boom, airbags in the face. So it was pretty intense.
Damn. Well, luckily you weren't like throwing forwards in it, right? It was just like it went off like as you were driving, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but it was pretty sketchy. But I have a funny story, but I want to skip it because I know our audience likes talking about like gear and stuff. And I amped up this like how to live longer. And I have some statistics, but one of the simplest things you can do, go for it.
I was going to say that. Kudos to you. That was a good. I liked your intro. That was a good intro.
Well, it's 100% true, and a lot of people they don't know about this, of how much benefits this one thing has, and it's the sauna. Most gyms have a sauna, and basically, if you don't know what a sauna is, well, I don't know why you're listening to the show, but it's a hot room, 170, 190 degrees. It's hot as shit, and it's dry heat, and you just sit in there and sweat. And you're like, well, how the hell does this add years to my life? Well, first off, when you're in a sauna, super hot, your body goes into like a stress state. I've measured my heart rate a couple times in the sauna, and it's about 130, 135. So it's like equivalent to moderate exercise on a treadmill, but you're literally just sitting there. You're also sweating, which gets out a lot of toxins from your pores, and you're sweating out a lot of salt too. But they've done, dude, so many studies, like up in like Norway and Finland, they've been doing saunas for years. And dude, there's some crazy stuff. What
were some of the most interesting things that you saw or noticed when you were doing some research on this?
So, increased circulation may help reduce muscle soreness, improve joint movement, and ease arthritis pain. And there's also a lot of thought of, after you work out, when you go in the sauna, you get so much blood flow that there's a lot more blood flowing through your muscles. So it can help deliver nutrients. It can help do all kinds of stuff. Improving cardiovascular health. One study conducted in Finland followed 2,315 men ages 42 to 60 over the course of 20 years. So findings suggest that people who use the sauna have a lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Of the participants in the study, a total of 878 died from cardiovascular disease or sudden cardiac death. And so they categorize these people by how often they used a sauna: once a week, 2 to 3 times a week, or 4 to 7. So after adjusting for different factors, participants who used the sauna 2 to 3 times a week were 22% less likely to experience sudden cardiac death than those who only used it once a week. So that's once to 2 to 3. 22% difference. Those who used a sauna 4 to 7 times a week were 63% likely to experience sudden cardiac death and 50% less likely to die from a cardiovascular disease than people who only use the sauna once a week. So that's pretty interesting. And there's more statistics on it, but those numbers, 63% and 53%, that's compared to someone who uses the sauna once a week compared to 4 to 7. That's not a comparison for someone who's never used a sauna.
Wow, that's incredible. So, like, because that was what I was thinking about as you were going through the data. Like, a lot of times they'll have like the control group where, hey, these people don't use the sauna at all. So imagine somebody who doesn't use the sauna at all.
Yeah,
like a 63% drop in cardiovascular risk or whatever, and death of 50%.
Yeah.
So you and I talked about it maybe 2 or 3 months ago about, creating like a giant garbage bag that was a sauna in your backyard. Where are you? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do one in my backyard, not a garbage bag, but I'm going to build a sauna in my backyard. Where are you on that? Did you decide if you're going to build a sauna?
Not yet. I'm leaning more toward a spa, like a full, like real spa. Like I have an inflatable spa that works great, but I want to get like a full real deal one, run power.
What is a spa? Enlighten me. I don't know what.
Like a jacuzzi.
Oh, okay.
Like like a whole, like a square with jets and all that stuff. And it's got the cover and LED lights. So I think I'm going to go for that first. The sauna, I mean, I live 5 minutes from the gym and the sauna is free. So it's like, but there's some more interesting things about sauna. So there's 2. So the first one is sitting in a sauna, when you're getting super hot and your body gets in the stress, situation, it releases dopamine and norepinephrine, which is adrenaline. So it's adrenaline and dopamine. And so you think, okay, well, that's kind of a wash. Dopamine's kind of a good one. Adrenaline's kind of a stress hormone. But what they found is that once you get out of the sauna, after about 20 minutes, the norepinephrine goes down. The adrenaline basically goes down to baseline, but the dopamine stays higher than when you started. So a lot of people experience that they feel really good after they get out of the sauna, and I can agree with that. And then the other thing is if you look up heat shock proteins, so these are proteins that are expressed when your body goes into heat shock. They specifically do this. And they've shown, I don't know all the statistics, and I don't want to bore people with it, but they do all kinds of stuff once they're released through the body, like healing, circulation, cleaning up shit. I don't quote me on that, but
heat shock proteins are a family of proteins produced by cells in response to exposure to stressful conditions. They were first described in relation to heat shock. It sounds like it's pretty simple how they got the name, but are now known to also be expressed during other stresses, including exposure to cold or UV light, and during wound healing or tissue remodeling. So that's very, very interesting. But sorry, you were about to get into the point about heat shock proteins.
yeah, I don't know a huge amount about them. I mean, I was listening to a podcast, I believe they were talking about it, or one of the guys on YouTube. But I mean, it's basically they're really good stuff. And like, I mean, overall, the sauna is good for you. There's no study that shows it's bad unless you like fall asleep in there and no one finds you. Then it's bad. So you gotta, you gotta be careful in the sauna too, because it's extremely hot. Like you got to drink a lot of water and you got to be very careful because you literally like I'll sit there, kind of like with my elbows on my shoulder, just lower my on my legs, looking down at my phone, chilling. A lot of the time I'll meditate in there. Like I'll put on like rain sound effects and I'm meditating while I'm in the sauna. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. But dude, you sit there and it's just like drip, drip, drop, drip, 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 drip. You're literally just like dripping sweat. Like it's pretty wild.
Well, you mentioned meditation. I do a meditation style that is called mindfulness. And it's like the recognizing you're like flexing the muscle of awareness to recognize where you and I could be here, right? But say if I was like this, even though I'm here with you, that I'm not really here with you. I'm here, right? So we go through a lot of our existence as humans, sadly, or like, maybe that's the opportunity. Maybe it's not sad, but where we're not present, right? So I do this mindfulness meditation, and that's a long way of asking you. I wanted to hear how when you put on that, what is going on? Are you trying to actively work on being in the moment in the sauna while that music is playing? How I'm just curious to know how you do your meditation.
So I'm definitely not a guru on meditation. From what I gathered from, what the standard kind of is, and, for meditation is essentially when I first started out, I would sit in a dark room, actually this exact room, and I would sit in a chair and I would turn the lights off. And the idea was you try to keep any thoughts out of your mind. And so you basically focus on taking deep breaths and you kind of focus on the feeling in your chest of that fullness, exhaling. Another one that I would do if kind of things do pop into your head, how you close your eyes and you see like different stars and patterns. You kind of, if you can zone out and you can kind of stare at those, it just kind of takes your mind out of it. So in what I'm trying to do when I'm meditating, and like I said, not a guru, is I'm basically just trying to clear my mind of thoughts. Just basically think of nothing, which I guess puts in your brain to like different like kind of mode, and it changes some of the brain waves and how your neurons are working. So it's kind of like a form of relaxation almost. And that's what I'll typically do in the sauna. And I don't do it like I don't sit there and like, all right, I have to do this for 10 minutes. Like I'll do it and I'll focus on it consciously for a while. And then sometimes I'll think about stuff that I have to do in the day. And that may not be ideal for relaxation, but sometimes if I'm in kind of a relaxed state, kind of maybe I'm thinking a little clearly, kind of thinking about stuff or thinking about ideas for videos, things like that, creative type stuff.
So like not meditating at all, basically.
I meditate for a few minutes and then I start thinking about shit.
That's interesting. Do you normally start with the so when because I'll try to I don't necessarily always set aside time every day to do it. Sometimes I do, but lately I haven't been. And it might just be the moments of like right there where I just take the time and I just recognize me breathing in. So is there some point where you always start, because what we're talking about meditation, right? But in reality, it sounds like when we were younger, that was kind of like foo-foo, like weird shit to meditate. But in reality, it's just because we didn't have any fucking understanding. We didn't have the perspective to understand what meditation was and all the benefits to it. But you can drop your cortisol levels down, you can drop your blood pressure levels down, and overall stress. So if you think of like aging as stress that forms mutations or affects cells in our body in an adverse way, or like a way that is not repairable, right, over time, because it's perpetual or chronic type stress, then meditation also reduces aging in that sense, right? So like that's super helpful. But where do you start that? For me, it tends to be like in the middle of the night. I'll wake up like once and I'll piss. And I try to do this when I wake up in the middle of the night, because otherwise I start thinking about stuff. Oh, what do I need to get done, or this, that, and the other thing. So like in the middle of that, I'll get up and take a piss, and I'll try to actively recognize the floor, because it's dark. You can't really see that much. And plus I don't want to like take in like the lights that I'm walking. I'm trying to like not pay attention to those as I walk, because did you also know that lights inhibit melatonin, right? We create melatonin and light. So if you go into the bathroom in the middle of the night and you flip on the light, you're actually inhibiting melatonin, right, in your body. But that's besides the point. So anyways, I go in there and I try to actively pay attention to the coldness on the floor, or like the feeling of my feet on the floor, because otherwise I'll just start thinking about things and I'll not get to sleep. So do you have something that you always go to, or is it just something like, okay, the breathing tends to be the first thing you go to?
Well, I mean, the meditation's kind of separate from what you're talking about. You're talking about if you wake up in the middle of the night, how do you keep from like waking up? And obviously light's a big one. I try to like sit if I'm like peeing, or if whatever else, I'll try to close my eyes while I'm doing what I'm doing as best I can. I try to keep the light as much out of there, and that kind of helps keep me in that sleepy spot. So I try to stay in that sleepy mode as long as possible. And real quick, I'm going to transition into a story about the toilet, and then I do actually want to talk about some performance enhancing stuff. So this is just a crazy story, completely unrelated. So woke up this morning, 4:30, to hear my dog walking around my bedroom, and I've got wood floors and I have a carpet that's kind of like centered, whatever. And so I hear my dog click clacking along with her little nails, and I wake up and I'm half asleep. It's 4:30, and I'm like, I'm like, Beans, get in bed, go to bed. And I sit here clicking around, and I'm like, motherfucker, dog probably has to go out. So I get out of bed, I go take my dog outside, trying to stay in that sleepy spot because I want to go back to sleep and then wake up in an hour and go to the gym. And walk out there. I'm not even paying attention to the dog. She comes back in. I walk into the bedroom and I'm like, what does that smell? Dude, I turn on the light. My dog like literally like walked across the carpet just shitting like all across the back and forth. And like part of where she shit was where I like literally where I walked to take her out. So I like literally like ninja dodged like stepping into shit at 4:30 in the morning. And so I wake up my wife and I'm like, baby, I'm like, yo, we got to clean this shit up. Like I'm not doing this myself. So 5 o'clock in the morning, we're picking up all this stuff. And then we got the floor cleaner, and dude, it was horrible. But that was my morning this morning. And then I went and did shoulders, and yeah, so
you're gonna sleep good tonight because
oh, I will. So let's jump into some PEDs. I remember, I think I saw one of your TikToks recently that you're doing what, 270 milligrams of test,
and no SARMs. Although today I did take antibiotic, but like that's
no, it's not a SARM. You're SARM free, baby.
But like I wasn't taking any additional antibiotics for the last like 3 months, and I don't know if we've talked about this, but like I've been really enjoying my training. And I don't think that has to do with 270 milligrams of testosterone, right? You could be like, well, you're at 270, so like, yeah, of course it does. But there's plenty of dudes more than me, and I don't think they honestly enjoy their training as much as me. And I always go into like the heady shit, right? But like when I think about like life and fulfillment and grow. Like it all for me, I always have to be like trying to progress or like move forward, learn and grow, right? And there had been a long time I felt like where I wasn't consistently putting in the amount of effort I knew I was capable of putting in the gym. Maybe one day or like, you know what I mean? Maybe a couple days or like a week. And then it was like a week, right? And I recognized that at some point last year. And I started applying far more intensity and effort in the gym with my training. And I feel as though it is similar to like, remember when you were like 18 years old and you were like, fuck, this training is so much fun, right? Like you just worked out all the time. It was like you're in the gym for 3.5 hours because you don't have diddly squat to do. Like, and I feel, and I'm not in there, it's like probably about an hour long training session, maybe some cardio, or maybe skip this cardio and I'll just do stretching and foam rolling and stuff. So it might be an hour and 20 minutes or something. But I'm fucking really, really enjoying this. And I added in AOD 9604, right? That's the fragment of HGH with tyrosine. It's got an amino acid added to the fragment so that it increases the half-life for like fat loss. I don't know if I can tell on the fat loss. I do look super juicy, I feel like, but I don't know if it's from the AOD or not. And then I'm also doing CJC once a week.
I'm not doing any SARMs. I'm just doing 270 plus some Anavar, some AOD, some CJC. I mean, you're practically natty, bro.
Bro, I'm like this close to natty. I'm like, you're like, you're basically natty, Sam, at this point.
You know what's interesting, real quick, just what I've been doing recently. So I ran out of normal pre-workout and I just haven't gone and gotten any more. And when I ordered sleep juice from EA, they had a deal, and I do really like sleep juice, not like a plug. But I take that to go to sleep. But they had a thing where each tub that you bought, they would give you a tub of like Ramey's Rage pump, non-stim. It's just a pump. You know, it's got glycerol, it's got, you know, a lot of the pump stuff, Himalayan salt. And so I was like, shit, I'll just take that and drink some caffeine. I mean, I have coffee. It's the same shit. So I've been doing that for the past few days. And yesterday I was doing back, and you know how there's some days where you're in the gym and you're like, fuck, I look small as shit. You know, you're not, maybe not as vascular, maybe not as much you, but you know, some days I look in the gym and I'm like, man, do I even work out? But then yesterday, man, I was doing back on that, you know, that pump shit plus the caffeine. And dude, my biceps were fucking pumped up. My vein was like super prominent. And I was like, fuck yeah. So that's an idea that you could try, you know, get a pump pre-workout. And I mean, fuck, it's not hard to find caffeine. You could drink half a bang and you got 150. You could drink the whole thing. You got 300.
Yeah. No, if I were to create another pre-workout, I wouldn't have any stimulants in it. Because when you get into the gym, you don't really need the stimulant. You need focus, right? Mm-hmm. You need to actually just pay attention to what you're doing to lift the weight or do the exercise properly to get the contraction of the muscle to the greatest extent you can possibly get it, and with like the time under tension. You need the focus on that, right? Because when I'm doing any exercise, I want the focus on the tension in the muscle that I'm, to say if I was doing biceps, right? I want that to be focused to tension the entire time I'm doing it. And I would, if I was going to do another pre-workout, it would be strictly pump agents. It wouldn't have anything else in there because I think those are more impactful. And I know that, like, you know, we all like, you know, maybe caffeine or that other shit, you know what I mean? You know, the other shit too. But
I've worked out on Adderall before. That's pretty insane. But I've worked out on no caffeine at all, and I've still had really good workouts. You know, for me, the only time I have a rough time in the gym is if I'm like hungover. If I'm hungover, it's rough. Like I'm just like, ugh. But I can go to the gym in the morning normal, and first set, not gonna lie, you're a little drowsy, but second set, like I'm in it. And I just always kind of, if I'm lifting, like I'm always lifting until I can't get that last rep. Not every time, but you know what I'm saying.
But so are you also over this past year? There would be times where I might like look at my phone, and so I completely stop. Stop myself from looking at my phone while I'm at the gym, and I go through and I'll like superset everything. So are you training that way?
I mean, not necessarily supersets all the time. I have been not looking at my phone a lot in the gym lately. I've been listening to podcasts. I like to listen to music too, but I'm listening to podcasts and I have not been looking at my phone. And that helps me kind of speed up. You don't realize it, but when you're sitting on a machine and you get on Reddit and you start reading down the comments, you're wasting a lot of time. And if you were just sitting there staring at, a fellow female gym goer in super tight pants, you'd probably be doing that set a little bit quicker. But you're staring at your fucking phone, looking at bullshit from people you don't even know, looking at people arguing online. You waste a lot of damn time.
I completely agree with you. On the like front, or like we'll maybe think of it relative to the sauna. Have you ever looked into red light therapy?
I have not. I know decent enough about it, but I've never tried it. I've never looked into it super deep. It's interesting.
So that's since the last time we spoke, I've been looking more into a bunch of different things, but red light therapy being one of them. There's different frequencies of red light, right? But
why don't we do this? Why don't we end this episode 46 and we'll start episode 47 in a few minutes with red light therapy?
Hey, that sounds like a good plan. If you guys enjoy the show, leave us a review, tag us. That's how we're growing, is by you guys leaving a review. So if you're watching on Apple or Spotify or Google or any platform you watch on, leave us a review. And if you screenshot your review and don't tag TYL because he won't check his messages.
Fuck Instagram.
Tag me on
Instagram.
I'll repost it. And,
Instagram is the only platform that I'm on where I post content 5 times a week and my subscriber count goes down. Fucking hate Instagram. I hate Facebook. I hate Instagram. Fucking Meta is fucking trash. Anyway.
Is your TikTok still growing?
Yeah. I'm at 14,700. One of the videos I just put out got like 10,000 views.
Wow. Congrats, bro. That's amazing. What's your views over the last like 28 days?
I don't know. I don't look at the analytics like that. Oh, okay. All I know is I have one video that got 365,000. I'm happy about that.
Is that your most viral pieces of content?
Yeah.
Congrats, dude. That's awesome. You want to just
me $0?
Yeah. Do you want to end it right here and then we'll do episode 47?
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for being with us. If you like the show, share it with a friend. It'll probably raise your testosterone like 100 points. That's a guarantee for sure. Check out the links in our bio. Check out any of our companies that we work with. You guys are awesome. And come check out number 47. We'll talk about some red light therapy and probably some other shenanigans.